Hey, Graceland Online, it's Ryan. Thanks for tuning in. Today, we deal with a pretty weighty topic, and we look at the following question. We look at this question. What is the point of pain? What's the point of pain? Have you ever asked that question? I think you probably have, right? Maybe not that exact question, but at least some form of it. Maybe you have said, why is life so hard? Or why am I regularly being hurt? What is the point of pain? A little over 10 years ago, I'm playing in a softball tournament in Nashville, Tennessee. And I'm playing in the outfield, and it's the bottom of the last inning. And the game is tied. There are 2 outs, and there are 2 guys from the other team that are on base. So a batter from the opposing team, he hits a shot to the outfield, and it's coming my way. So I sprint to the ball, and as I approach the ball, I think it's a little bit too far out of my reach. However, as I get closer, I realize I may actually have a chance to catch this thing. Now, what feels like is slow motion, I have a choice to make. I can dive after the ball and have a chance to catch it, or I can let it drop, and we'll certainly lose the game. I can literally put myself out there and most likely get hurt. Or I can hold up and most certainly miss out on something great. So I end up diving after it just like this, and I lay out with my arm outstretched across my body, and I actually make the catch. However, right away, I drop my glove, I drop the ball, and I grab my arm. I had dislocated my shoulder because of the impact on the ground. This was the most physical pain I have ever felt in my life. And as I think back to that moment 10 years ago, I realize now that there was some purpose to that awful pain. And I think that this can serve as an illustration for pain that you may just be experiencing right now. So again, I ask the question, what's the point of pain? What is the point of pain? And I think I've got a couple of reasons for why pain might exist. And first of all, I think it's because pain lets you know that something is wrong. What if I had laid out for that ball and dislocated my shoulder and then didn't experience any pain at all? It would have actually been so much worse for my shoulder in the long run, because pain lets you know that something is wrong. If you're experiencing pain in your marriage, it's an indicator that there's an issue. If you're having some sort of anxiety attack, that is you telling you that something is off. If you're suffering from loneliness, that is a flashing light letting you know that something is wrong. When you experience pain, it's like the dashboard light in your car. Those lights come on and they flash when something needs to be addressed in your car. What pain in your life needs to be addressed? What's the point of your pain? So not only does pain let you know that something is wrong, but also pain, it requires a response. It requires some sort of response. So let's go back to my shoulder story. I experienced the worst physical pain I had ever had in my life. And immediately I hold my arm and I know that I must do something to stop this pain. There has to be some sort of response. Fortunately, my wife is there and she rushes me to the hospital. It's about 40 minutes away. But finally we get there, and I'm taken to the back room, and there's a doctor there to see me, and he gives me some morphine to numb the pain so that they can actually go in and put my shoulder back into place. Now, my response could have easily been to just take morphine and numb the pain and to leave my shoulder out of place. And as crazy as this seems, this is so often what happens in so many people's lives. Our response to pain is just to make it go away and to not actually make anything better. However, in this situation, I have the doctors relocate my shoulder because pain required a response. What is your response to pain? Do you just want to alleviate your pain, or are you willing to actually address the root problem of your pain? There's actually a man, his name is C.S. Lewis, and he said this. He said, "We can ignore even pleasure, but pain insists upon being attended to. God whispers to us in our pleasures. He speaks in our conscience, but shouts to us in our pain. And it is his megaphone to rouse the world. And maybe today, God is just trying to get your attention. So if you are experiencing any kind of emotional, mental, physical, or spiritual pain, I believe that there is only one solution. There is only one person that you can truly turn to in your pain. You see, pain in this world shows us the need for a Savior. God created a world without pain, but unfortunately mankind chose to rebel against God. And because of that rebellion, pain entered the world. However, in his plan to bring people back to himself, God gave us a Savior. This Savior is a man named Jesus, and we can read all about him in the Bible. In fact, Jesus is quoted as saying this in the Bible. He tells people, he says to them, "Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, all who are weary, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." Your pain is very real. And once again, pain lets you know that something is wrong. The world is not like it should be because we have rebelled against God. And remember, pain requires a response. What will your response be? God may be using a megaphone right now to get your attention. And he wants you to respond by trusting in Jesus. In fact, we're also told in the Bible, told directly to us, "Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of God, so that at the proper time he may exalt you, casting all your anxieties on him, because he cares for you." I don't know what may be causing you crisis, but I do know who brings comfort. I don't know why you may be hurting, but I do know who brings healing. I don't know how long you have been in pain, but I know who can bring purpose in your pain. God made a way for you to know him by trusting in Jesus. Jesus died on a cross and was raised from the dead a little over 2,000 years ago. And if you just believe in that and believe in Jesus, you will be saved. I hope that this message has maybe just stirred something in your heart today. And I know that this is really just the beginning of the conversation. I certainly don't have all the answers, but I can point you to the one who does. And I know where you can find them. If you're experiencing pain today and you need someone to talk to, we would love to connect with you. If you're hurting and you have some questions about that, we would love to just connect with you. If you want to know more about Jesus, we would love to connect with you today. The best way for you to be able to do this is to simply text the word connect to 812-432-2234. Again, text the word connect to the number that you see here on the screen. And once again, thank you so much for joining us today at Graceland Online. And if you've enjoyed this message, if you've enjoyed it today, please be sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. And if you know anyone at all, someone that could benefit from this message, we kindly ask you to just get this message to them by hitting the share button there on your screen. If pain lets you know that something is wrong and pain requires a response, what will your response be?